Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world in the age of Kulsir. Casey, what happened last time?
So much happened.
It
as
was
usual,
a long
I took
and
many
busy
notes.
episode.
Yo, we did a lot of talking.
So, we did, which is par for the course for us. In as brief of a summary as I could get it down to, we met the science team. Well, I guess we got back to Dane, and he introduced us to the science team of Merrix, DeCanneth, Professor Flamewind, and Forge. Rockstar science team.
Yeah. Handling business.
Yes, and they have so much to teach us. Ari contacted Salarka to let her know that we were here. She was interested in helping, but weird vibes. I'm sure we will address that. And
That's
then
Casey
we did
editorializing last episode.
if absolutely. If
Speak
I
your truth,
do
queen.
the summary.
Speak your truth, queen.
And then we, after many a discussion, came up with a plan that we will first go and get the ship while, if Salarka agrees, and the Moon Spears create a distraction away from the ship. We will shrink it and get it, and then later the Stryke Force will attack a Herald, and the Dragon Blades, which is the new awesome cool name for the Rebel Warren gang, will attack Dreadhold.
Yes. To retrieve Cardane, who you also need, who's the other part of the puzzle that you need.
Right.
All right. That is... that is what is up. So the plan as established last time was that you all are quite shortly going to head back towards Stormreach and retrieve the time machine piece of Harazi's ship with Merrix to Kenneth. And that will be stage 1.
It's very important that we don't let on what we're up to, or else Kulsir might get ahead of us, though.
This is true.
But first, gotta call Salarka.
Call.
So yeah, Ari, after we've established that Ari needs to contact Salarka to communicate the plan, and that we need the giants of Rushime to provide a distraction, which she is encamped with, Ari turns to Pog and says, "Hey, buddy, I can do this spell, but send you instead if you want to talk to her.
Send
into her dream."
Did she want it to be me? Did it?
I didn't present the option to her.
Did you tell her?
I told her you're alive. I told her that we're all alive, and I told her that we were going to be heading down to the outskirts of Stormreach. But I did not communicate any kind of plan. If you want to go, the only important thing is to communicate that we need the giants to provide a distraction. But
so
then you can...
I need to see her to tell her that I won't see her, because we're not going to have her come to where we are, right?
I mean, it depends on how they coordinate. I mean, we need the giants to provide a distraction. If she can break away and come to where we are, great, but that's a question to ask her.
I don't know why, but I just got really scared for the first time. We're gonna do a lot of really dangerous things, and this is scarier feeling, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Do you want me to send you?
I think so.
Okay.
Where?
Yeah.
I need you to tell me exactly where do they need to be, because I don't know how much of anything else I'm going to remember when I see her, to be honest.
You just need to tell her that they need to provide a distraction away from where we're going to be in our. I mean, Pog remembers where
North side of the city.
Is where we're going to be.
No, north side of the city is where you want the distraction. It's the opposite side of the city.
Yeah.
Heard.
Yeah. So north side. Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing is, I wanted the dream to be where she would normally be, and so it was in her hut. But I can manipulate the setting of the dream if you have any preference. But she was worried that she was being messed with by somebody that wishes her ill intent. So I would try not to make it too. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of making people think things that they aren't thinking themselves. So I think I'll just go to wherever she is.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Just talk to her, communicate the plan, and yeah, sit down. You'll go into a trance state while you're there.
Pug wipes his hands and sits.
Yeah, and then Ari touches Pog on the shoulder and casts Dream with Solarka as the target.
Pog, you are in a
Coma.
a long, kind of it's clearly hut-like, but it's kind of long, like it's a long house of some kind. There's a big table in the middle, but the things eating at the table are ostriches, and there is a big cauldron of soup boiling, but it's hanging from the roof for some reason. And Solarka is sitting in a chair at one end of the hall, watching all of this.
Is she sitting facing me?
Yep.
And it's a long table, you said, like a banquet table?
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk up to the...
Looks very out of place in the longhouse.
I'll walk up to the end opposite her and see if she sees me.
She notices you, and her head tilts a little bit to the side.
What's the volume level like in here with a flock of ostriches eating?
Really, really quiet. It's like you're in a fancy restaurant.
Okay. Philip Mad Libs are a thing to be experienced.
Dreams don't have to make sense.
It's... Hi, Solarka. Ari said you had some doubts when he came in here, so I imagine you have the same. Pog put his hand on his belt to show that he's wearing that.
Hello, Pog.
It's nowhere near enough. But I'm very sorry. And I'm very happy to see that you are here and now. Still,
It wasn't your fault.
I don't think I've ever had a hard time believing you before, but I really appreciate you saying that. How are you?
I'm all right. It's different, but we get by. Golranak is a good leader.
Yes. They're amazing. Your family?
My brothers are still here. My father died a few years ago.
But he had gotten out?
Yes, it was just an illness.
Pog's going to take a step to the side and slowly start walking towards her into the table.
Past the files of ostriches.
Mm-hmm. Pay no mind to him because they are absorbed in their soup.
Just eating, yeah.
I've come not only because I had an opportunity to see you and had to take it, but because Ari said that you would try to help while we have a better plan to try to fix things.
Yes. What do you think it will mean to fix things?
The plan that's been given to us would be one that could stop any of this from having happened. That would stop Kolsir not as dumb thinking as we were the first time to think we could stop him before he started, but we could stop him at a time that he's trying.
That would save a lot of people.
It would. We're not caught up yet on how many people didn't make it.
Not just people I know, but there's been war everywhere.
The world is wrong.
The world is what it is, Pog.
But it could not be. It could just be the problems we had before.
Not everything that happened since then was bad. But a lot of innocent people died. And I suppose if you have a chance to stop that, it is what you should do.
Are you in a life that you want?
I have a life that I have found happiness in. Most people, Pog, don't get to ask the question, are you in a life that you want? You're just in the life that you have. And you find a way to want it. You find a way to be happy. If you spend all of your time thinking, what is a different life I might have wanted more, then you don't really live the life you have.
That's so cute.
Super cute.
The little feet at the door sending me. There are a lot of people that, because of what happened, didn't get any kind of a life.
That is true. I know. And if you can stop that, then you should.
We have a task back near Stormreach, and we need help with the distraction on the north side of the city.
How soon?
We said it was going to take us
It'll take you a matter of hours to get back once you leave.
So 5 hours. We're going immediately. So tonight
I'll speak to Golrenak and see if we can't contact the Umbragen. They do work with us sometimes. Sole would probably want to help.
I'm glad to know there's still an option. I imagine they would.
It would depend on their chief as well. They are not just their family clan anymore.
Nothing's the way it was.
No.
I know it's been a long time for you. It's been today for me. So I don't speak better words than you used to know. There's not going to be a good way for me to leave you in this.
No.
I'm very glad that you found a way to be good.
Thank you, Pog.
And Pog will take a step back from her. I'll see you sooner.
Be careful.
Pog will try to think his way out of things.
You do.
Yep.
And upon returning,
Hey, buddy.
where's Ari? Are you standing?
Sitting right there, yeah.
I'm just going to stand up and grab you and start crying into your shoulder.
Hey, buddy. It's okay.
She's gonna try.
Good.
She's gonna try and push back to shoulder length, hands on your shoulders. And he, just a minute, please.
Yeah.
And then walk over to the coffee machine and just lean up against and try not to sob too loudly.
So I wonder if Colsear's still got the red ring going. Like Ari turns to Shade, just trying to like make idle conversation so the focus isn't on Pog. Oh wait, he does. He puts us.
Yeah, that's how he
puts dissonance in it.
Yeah.
gives promotions, right?
Yes, and also executions.
Right. Punishments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a chance we see how the red ring is.
I wonder if he kept those same announcer duo, the Etten. Really cool, good, solid combo. Probably not. Probably killed him, but them.
We should go. Turns around.
Yeah.
Great.
North side. She's with the giants and said that Soleil and her tribe may join.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great.
Let's get heading.
Yeah.
Pug's gonna start walking upstairs. If there's none of the team there, if they're all headed to get ready for the ship.
Forge and Flamewind are working on something. Merrix isn't in the room anymore, and neither are Kedrick and Ilya.
Guess we go talk to Dane about actually heading out. So the Forge,
plan, yeah.
Flamewind, good to see you too. Well, nice to meet you, Flamewind. Good to see you again, Forge.
Good luck.
If I find myself in Sharn 20 years ago, I'll stop in to say hey.
That is an interesting paradox.
Yep.
It was so nice to meet you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Think we will need it. Thank you.
All right. And Ari starts heading to Dane's office.
Mm-hmm. As she leaves, Shade looks at Professor Flamewind and goes, "And you're confident you can fix it, right?"
I am confident that among us we can cause it to function again.
Insight.
Okay.
Ooh. Shade eye.
Function
Insight
or
check against a Sphinx.
Yarf.
Let's see. 12.
Flamewind is inscrutable.
I know.
Sphinx-like.
Guess I just have to believe you. Okay.
Or not.
All right, those are the choices, but
Indeed.
not doesn't give me many other options. Believing you does. Okay.
There you are.
And she leaves.
Okay.
Hey, Dane.
So, Kedrick says there's a plan.
Yep. Gonna go with Merrix down to Stormreach to see if we can reduce the size of Haratzi's ship, or at least the component of it that we need. that controls the time travel bit. Bring that back up here so Flamewind, Forge, and Merrix can put their collective heads together and try to fix the thing. And then we're going to go kill a herald of Colseer while Cadric's team goes to the Dreadhold to retrieve Cardane.
That's what Cadric said.
Yep. You got any intel on the current heralds of Colseer?
They change periodically. There's always a good deal of infighting within his court. Aberrants will challenge for the position. And
all right,
with the freedom to use their marks as they please, more aberrants have seen their marks develop more powerfully than was common before, as you encountered with your own marks.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know who the heralds are at any given moment. Without sending a team to Stormreach, it's hard to get intelligence out.
All right. Well, I guess this is it for this version of us knowing each other. So
You're not coming back with the time machine?
well, they stressed time was of the essence, so I assumed we would drop Merrix off and then take off immediately to Sharn. But if we got time to pop in and say hey, then I'll take it. But
I would. Well, for one thing, none of you know how to fly that ship.
Yeah.
Merrix will fly you out, but you'll need someone flying if you're going to Sharn. And I'll have to work out which ship to send which direction. So,
cool.
Bring back my ship.
You know,
That's the plan.
yeah, that is the plan.
Good.
Just don't ask Malcolm how well that works out, but
Well,
your ship's nicer, so
it's faster in any case.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back soon.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Merrix comes into the room, having changed. He has on a lot of fairly elaborate arcanotech, essentially. He's got on a big set of gauntlets, and there's is wearing a backpack that's got all sorts of glowing devices on it. Dragon shards are in ample supply. He now has on the regulation artificer goggles, and long coat, and all of these things. It's clearly his adventuring outfit. Well, I haven't been in the field for some time, but
well, do you like field work?
I liked field work more before the incident with my leg.
That's fair. All right. Well, I believe you are our driver amongst many other talents. So,
If something is flying, we usually call it a pilot.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well,
Indeed.
If you are all ready, I'll get my equipment and we'll head out to our vessel.
Sounds good.
I think I'm ready. Is there anything else that you think we need? You have all the things, right?
I have all the things I will need to, theoretically, to detach and shrink a segment of Harazi's ship.
Great.
And it'll be small enough to fit on the ship, or are we having to lift it out?
I believe so.
Okay.
I have never been on Harazi's ship, and so I've had some conversation with Flamewind about the technology, but until I am there, I cannot be entirely certain of the size of the object that we will be taking out.
All right.
Okay.
I am as sure as I can be that this is possible.
And we've packed hooks and ropes in case we have to just attach it to the ship, right?
Hooks and rope. That will not be necessary.
Okay. Because you have a plan, not because we're going to leave it.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Ropes are very useful, just to be clear.
In the absence of brilliant science, yes.
Rude, but okay.
Was it?
I mean, we should go. But yes, because ropes can be useful within brilliant science as well. They're just a very handy tool and hunting device.
Ah, I see. I was being rude to ropes in general.
No, specifically people who use ropes. You were implying that they weren't brilliant.
Scientist. Do you consider yourself a brilliant scientist? I suspect you're brilliant in many ways. I did not think you were a scientist.
Okay, I do not. But no feels like a bad answer.
I certainly hope not. At the most essential level, it is half of the answers.
Ari leans over to Pog with his Eldritch Blaster and says, "If I shoot this at the ceiling, do you think that'll distract them long enough for us to run away from this conversation?"
What?
Nothing.
Pog snaps out. Shoot, what? Pog has not heard a word that's been said.
Now, shall we?
We shall. You said yes, and so to get ready, and we will head out. Once Merrix steps away from the group to go do whatever he needs to do, Ari turns to Shade and Pog with a kind of look of concern in his face and said, "There was something that Dane said that has just jogged my memory that I'm concerned about. It might be something that comes up at the worst possible time. You know how my mark ended up getting a lot bigger than your all's ultimately? Mine covers me from head to toe. That was because of some weird hooded figure that contacted me in the ethereal plane, and I had to make a deal with him, and I haven't heard from him since. So I have an outstanding bill that might come due. Just a heads up." And he seemed like the kind of figure that time would be an irrelevant factor. So just a heads up.
More good news.
Now, Eric,
That's
is
all
this
I
the
deal with.
first time that we have heard this information?
Ari told you all about the hooded figure as soon as it happened. He mentioned that a weird hooded figure, because everyone was super stoked to hear that Ari had written another blank check.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So.
No, that's a good thing to keep.
I mean, like I said, it's been
in mind
this long without him showing back up, but feels like one of those at the worst possible moments kind of things. So maybe he'll show up and want me to kill Colseer, and then bada bing, bada boom, everything's easy. But who knows?
That's
I
not
don't think
usually how
that's-
your deals go.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit, but odds of probability state that eventually it would have to work out that way, right? Like, if I make enough bad deals, one of them has to work out well.
By that same
Eventually.
logic, my Shade Eye would be getting significantly better, and it is not. So I don't know that
Well, I'm not saying it's a cumulative thing. I'm just saying, like, one out of, like, it hopefully won't be important. It won't matter. Hopefully. Just wanted to throw it out there in case it ends up mattering. Let's go get on the ship. Unless you all had more questions that I don't have answers to.
But we can ask you those on the ship.
Yes.
It's several hours.
Yes, it is.
You meet Merrix by the door of the hideout. One of the big mechanical retriever machines is standing by outside and walks with you escort style to the building that you previously came in. And you can just decide how that feels. But
Not good.
Merrix takes you up the lift and back aboard the ship and takes off into the sky. There is opportunity for a short rest on the ride back if anyone would like.
Yeah.
Pog's going to take it because he's probably just going to try to nap in the corner and
Give me all those spells.
keep his hood up.
Nom, 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 nom.
I spent a hit die and rolled a 1. A 1 on my
Oof.
D10.
Oof.
Ari feels great.
Good.
Pog's mind is broken, but he's back to full health. So all the pushes. Here we go.
Merrix focuses on flying and will not bother you all unless you approach him with questions. He flies along humming to himself. And as you all cross the Sea of Blades.
Ari, part of Ari wants to ask Merrix. Is not going to do it, but like has an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with a high-ranking member of one of the houses as an aberrant mark individual, like, but knows that it will do no good. Like, so Ari just relent. For the first time in maybe Ari's life, he realizes that a conversation is potentially fruitless and decides to not have it. So,
Whoa.
that's Ari's character arc.
23 years. He grew up.
Not worth it.
Okay. And unless you guys need to discuss anything, we travel by map across the Sea of Blades and back to the jungles outside of Stormreach. You come into the clearing that was created by Harazi's ship appearing in the dense bit of jungle. The ship is there. Nothing else unexpected is present in the clearing, so far as you see.
Perception?
Yep.
Sure.
One of those.
Sure.
All right, we'll sit this one out.
11.
Maybe Ari will roll a d20 to see if he gets a higher number.
Shade is pushing that.
Oh, nat 20.
Hey.
Nice.
Wait, don't waste your
Nice.
push.
I did already declare it, though.
Mhm.
I don't want to be a cheater.
Multi 20s.
It was also a
JK.
waste because I rolled
Lol.
lower. So
Shade needs a long rest.
But inspiration for not metagaming.
Cheers.
well, thank you.
Oh, thank you. For being a classy player. unlike Eric over there.
I was trying to get my roll up before she declared it. Like I was intentionally trying to get it out there so that we would have the information.
Well, I understand the irony of me just complaining about the choices I made. So, so classy.
Ari, you feel confident that no one else is here at the moment?
All right.
That's a deliberate choice of words.
This.
It was an accurate choice of words. Describes the scene as it currently stands.
Yeah.
We're still daylight?
Probably not anymore. You guys have gone back and forth across the Thunder Sea a couple of times. So no, sun's probably going down.
Can you see out here? Daylight. Says to Merrix. So yes.
Indeed, yes.
Okay.
I think we just stop asking him questions because the way he answers just makes you feel bad.
Does.
There's no problem science can't solve. He strides forward.
Except for being very loud on a sneaky mission.
That is not actually true. And he touches a button on his on his gauntlet, and all of the sounds around you all become muted.
Ari's just muttering in his head to himself, he's an ally, he's an ally, he's an ally, he's an ally.
Pog whispers some very choice things that do not get heard by anyone.
No noise comes out of Pog's mouth.
His lips. Ooh-wee.
I guess we just hang out and wait while he does his thing, or...
Merrix is heading towards the entrance of the vessel.
I guess you should point. Well, he talked to Flamewind, so yeah, I guess.
No, we should accompany him. He's going in there, and he's never been before.
Yeah. I just think that maybe one of us should stay out here to keep eyes on the surroundings so nothing sneaks up on us. So I guess I'll do that.
That's a good idea.
Seems a little paranoid.
I want to keep my eyes on him.
All right.
So I'll go in the ship.
Okay.
If he's walking away, I had already said that I was walking with him. So if he's actively moving,
he heads into the ship.
You two talking about it,
and looks around with his goggles and walks over to the section of the ship that you all were in when you traveled, and holds up one of his gauntlets and again seems to sort of pass it across the wall. As he does, you can see the runes on the wall kind of light under the gauntlet, like ultraviolet under a black light. And as he examines carefully and moves along back and forth until he has about a 10-foot section of the wall mapped out, says, I think this is the portion that we will need to take. And he takes a box and opens it and begins placing little discs along, sort of outlining the space. So what I'll do is once I get these set properly, I will very carefully detach this section from the wall around it, and then I'll begin the process of shrinking it down. It will not be small. We won't be able to just put it in our pocket, but it will be small enough to be carried perhaps by our particular muscular compatriot there. What now? How I called you muscular. You are.
He is very strong. Philip, does it look like the right...
He's definitely in the right place.
Okay. Can I roll something to check his work?
You absolutely can. I'm going to need you to make an intelligence check. Just a straight intelligence check.
Awesome.
Investigation, if you've got that.
Oh, those are the same. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll do 16.
All right. He has marked off a part of this ship.
Yeah.
And it is roughly the part you were standing in when you traveled through time.
Looks okay. Looks all right. Okay.
When we were preparing to go, was the place that Harazi told Ari to press the rune, was that the same place that she had been? Or was she on another side interacting with something else?
The rune was in the segment of the ship that you guys were traveling from, which is where she had been when she was setting it up.
Okay. Yep, okay. Words are failing me now.
He begins the process of setting up the whatever these little devices are that seem to be linked into a little long daisy chain outlining the space, and then gradually begins adjusting them like dials, and after a certain amount of adjustment, one of them will light up, and then he keeps sort of adjusting it back and forth until the color shifts to whatever he seems to consider the right color, and then moves on to the next one, and so on, working his way around. Once it gets above arm's reach, he touches a button on his belt, and his boots allow him to start levitating up and start working around the top. Ari, you stayed outside?
Yep.
Give me a perception check.
Picked the wrong person to do this, but it's fine. That's 7.
I'll say I didn't pick any of you.
I know.
Cool. Yeah.
Let's just let it ride.
Okay. There is, even with a 7, you can tell, there is some sort of commotion in the city. You see a lot of lights activating, and you can hear, fairly distant from you right now, but you can hear distant rumbling and the sound of some sort of commotion going on inside the city.
Ari kind of pokes his head in and calls in. Things are getting loud in the city, so high time to... Now is our window of being completely unnoticed.
Merrix is humming to himself contentedly as he works.
Great. I'll be out here.
Can I roll perception to see if the interior of the lair looks the same
Sure.
as when we left it?
Mm-hmm.
21.
It seems to be roughly the same. There are maybe some bits that have collapsed since you left. There's a segment towards the back of the ship that's crumbled away, and is now open to the jungle. But it seems to be more or less here.
Okay.
So about this point.
Last time there was a mystery dice roll from Philip Colsier appeared, so here we go.
Ari, you hear just sort of a sound. Pog, you're inside.
As we described it, there was like the ramp up to in, and he's He's there, kind of able to see out, but
Okay.
is at the door.
And Shade, you're watching Merrix work to make sure
I
he's
am.
sciencing correctly.
Right.
As a brilliant scientist herself.
Right, yeah.
As a brilliant scientist myself, yes.
Pog, right at the door, you see a glittering, sort of staticky cloud that then parts, and suddenly there are several persons at the door. The leading figure wears a gilded mask and is carrying a sword in a skeletal hand, and looks at you and says,
Hey, girl.
Pog, what are you doing? I think that's where we're at this episode.
No.
Somebody decided to call the reborn queen. Certainly wasn't me.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Khyber Shards.
Oh, boy.
If you'd
We
like
didn't
to
have
get in touch with
enough
us,
complications.
Quick in and out, 20-minute adventure.
that's kind of what I thought when Eric decided to call Lady Bull. I thought, oh, wow, I had not really thought about what the consequences of that would be. So I figured that out. It's delightful.
We gave him too much time, y'all. we have to control the cliffhangers we give to Philip.
I'm going to play the most milquetoast does nothing character next campaign. He's going to sit in a corner and be told what to hit.
Oh, man. Oh, you'll be punished for that. I assure you.
She specifically asked, what are you planning to do, Ari? I gave you the opportunity not to answer that question. Anyway.
Sorry.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do so at links in the description down below, as well as in comments, and pick a team, Philip or Eric, apparently. And you can get in touch with us on our Discord.
Don't throw that out there. We all know how that's going to go. Like, I don't even need to check the watch party chat.
That's all right. Someone will have predicted exactly that this will happen as soon as you talk to Arandis, and it won't seem. I won't seem as diabolical anymore.
I don't know. In the moment, I'm still pretty shook. I'm gonna be honest.
As well as our Discord and various other places you can get in touch with us, you'll find a link to the Geek Pantheon YouTube channel where you find TTRPG videos hosted by Eric, and to a Twitch where you will find Colin playing video games sometimes as Sorry BTR. The O is a 0. New episodes of Khyber Shards come out on Mondays, and new Khyber Shards answers are on Fridays. And until next time, thanks for rolling with us.
If there is a next time.